Hello everyone, welcome to this tutorial. My name is Samuel Katana. I'm an instructor at Cyber Shujaa, and briefly this is what we are going to cover in this tutorial. So we're just having a brief introduction to Hack the Box, helping you familiarize and get started up or get up to speed with how to work with the platform. Now, ideally, this is what you're going to cover. One, at least help you with signing up or creating your account, and then how to also sign in or log into your account. And then the other thing will be how to search for and access or unlock modules on Hack the Box. This is particularly when you're talking about Academy, and then also how to connect your machine or your attack machine or your attack box to Hack the Box networks via VPN, particularly OpenVPN. So if we have time, we're going to cover both Linux and Windows. Now, Hack the Box has a couple of domains, but while you are with us or while you're still a student at Cyber Shujaa, you're mostly going to interact with the Academy domain. And then the other domain that we might actually want you to explore or from time to time visit is the app domain. So the Academy domain is mostly used for learning purposes. This is where we have most of the academia material or learning material. And then when you talk about app.hackthebox.com, we have material that is mostly related to challenges or machines that you can actually hack into or practice your hacking on. Of course, there are other domains like ctf.hackthebox.com, but you're not going to cover that in this tutorial. So let's just get started. You can quickly just open up your browser, any browser of your choice. In my case, I have Mozilla Firefox, and then visit academy.hackthebox.com. And while that is loading, actually it has already loaded. While that has loaded, just go ahead and click the start for free button, and then you're supposed to create an account here. So for this particular case, I'm going to use hopegroupapp@gmail.com and then click on the sign up button. Of course, there are other options that you can explore, like in this particular case you can try and sign up with Google, LinkedIn, or GitHub, but for this tutorial we're going to just use our email. So again, hopegroupapp@gmail.com. For your case, use your own personal email, not particularly the email that you see on this tutorial. Use your own personal email, click on the sign up button, and then you can create a password that suits your needs, and then press on continue. When you get to this page, ensure you have filled all these options here, and then just go ahead and create your account. So maybe just for illustration purposes, I'll have something like CSKE, and then my name right here, Samuel Katana, as I said, and then the country is Kenya. I believe all of us are from Kenya. And then select your date of birth, maybe say December 12th. Let me pick a random year like 1998, and then accept. Do that, but this is an optional one. Once you do that, just create your account. You will get a notification on your email address, so maybe you could just quickly visit that email. Let me see if I can access mine from here, mail.google.com. Once that loads up, just click on the Hack the Box email that you get. If you don't see it on your primary mailbox or your inbox, just go look at your spam email right here. If you're using Gmail, if you're using Yahoo, also do the same thing. Check your spam mail. If you're using any other email provider and you can't see it on your primary email, check your spam email. So just go ahead and click the verify email, and that will quickly have you set up with the or actually have you create your Hack the Box account. And then the rest of this you can actually just fill out So let's just do that real quick. Your current job role is a student. Maybe if you're not a student, select the appropriate job role that you have, and then click on continue. Years of experience for illustration purposes, we'll put new to cybersecurity. Then continue. What are our interests? Select all the interests you have right here. So maybe say application security, network penetration testing, vulnerability assessment, web application, bug bounty hunting. Select your interest depending on what you actually like or would want to explore on the platform, and then click on finish onboarding right here. So once that's done, we are already set up on the platform, and I'm just going to close this pop-up. We already set up on the platform, and as we said earlier on, that would have had us already sign up or create our account and then also be signed in. But because this is the first time that we've actually created the account, I'm going to quickly just log out and then show you how to now sign in. So next time you visit academy.hackthebox.com, click on the sign in button, and then I think it is appropriate to go with the continue with HTB account right here. And while you're here, just load, sorry about this, use whatever credentials you had set up earlier. So in this case, you remember our email, the one that we used. For your case, again, as I said, use your personal email and then just sign in. Let's wait for that, and as you can see, we are once again logged into Hack the Box. So once again, I'm just going to close this, but in your own time you can actually check that out. It's a short tour about the platform. So let's revisit what we said we were supposed to cover in the tutorial. We have now managed to sign up or create an account on Hack the Box, and we've also seen how to sign in or log into our account. Now, in particular cases, when you start your classes or even before, we might actually ask you to go through some modules on Hack the Box just to get you up to speed with what you are supposed to learn. So, how do you actually do this? Now, when you go back to the platform, you will realize that you have things called cubes right here. So remember, we are working with the domain academy.hackthebox.com. As I said, this is where you get most of your learning content or your learning materials. And the way the platform works is you're given cubes to work with, and these cubes can be used to actually unlock different modules on the platform. So assuming you are doing one of your assignments and you've been tasked to maybe work on something like getting started module, so you can quickly just go to the search bar up here and then go to again, as I said, search for the name of the module that you have been tasked to work on. So in this particular case, assume you've been tasked to work on the getting started module. You just search for it, the exact name, and then when it pops up, just click on it to open. Once it has been opened, you can go ahead and unlock the module. When you click on unlock, you will get this pop-up that shows you how many cubes you actually need to unlock the module. Now, you see right here that we have 60 cubes that were already given by Hack the Box for free. Now, while you're working on your assignments, ensure that you don't actually waste these cubes, because you're gonna need them to open other modules for assignments that come after the ones you are currently working. So don't just be opening modules randomly, and if you do, ensure you work on the modules and finish them, like do them to completion. That way you will get your cubes back. So if you use 10 cubes to unlock this specific module, like I did right there, you will see we have a deficit of 10 from what we were given already by Hack the Box. And now that gives us access to this module. So when you click on getting on start, you can actually see a couple of things that you can use. Particularly, this is the course content, or what we might want you to go through, depending on the module that you've been assigned. So I'm not going to go through this module, but that is ideally it on usage of cubes and modules that you're going to see. I particularly love this feature called the toggle to do. When you click on it, the module is favorited, or you have it on a list somewhere on your dashboard. Let me just quickly go back to the dashboard, and then you'll see that you have the getting started module right here. So the next time you need to revisit the module or continue doing the module, you don't have to search for it again up here. You'll just find it on the list that you have down here. So I hope that is okay. Let's just quickly refer back to what we're supposed to cover. So as at now, we are done with part 3, that is how to search and access or unlock modules on Hack the Box. Now, the other thing that is very important for us to learn is how to connect our machines to Hack the Box networks via VPN. So in this particular case, in the module that we unlocked earlier on, there's a specific section that talks about connecting using VPN. In your own time, you can go through this. It's very important you go through it and understand how everything works. But I'm just going to quickly illustrate how you can actually do that. So maybe I could pick on something like this, because it's an actual task to work on, and then show you how the connection via VPN to Hack the Box networks actually works. So while working on your assignments in particular times, you're given a target system, and how you assign to a target machine or a target to actually hack into is you will be given an IP address. We will go into details of this later on, and I also believe that before maybe coming to see the tutorial on Hack the Box, you have watched the other tutorial on setting up a virtual machine, because in this particular case, I'm working with the Kali Linux environment or operating system. So the commands I'm going to show you are ideally used on Kali Linux, but on Linux or Unix environments, but you could also connect via VPN on Windows. So we'll go into that in a bit. We're still exploring the Academy module as you're waiting for the target to spawn. So let's just give it a moment. Now, ideally, if you are a free user, which most of you I assume are, you get 1 instance per day of something we actually call the attack box, or this is a virtualized environment or machine that Hack the Box can give you, and you can use to actually do your assignments in a day. But now the problem with this is it's timed, and you only use it once in a day. Once that is done, if any mistake happens and you shut it down, you can't access it until the next day. So that is why it is highly recommended to just use your attack box to connect to, and by attack box I mean your virtual machine, to connect to Hack the Box networks. So in this particular case, we've been given an IP right here, and we need to hack into that machine. And before we do that, normally as a hacker, you need to confirm that you have connectivity to the target. So I'm going to just open up my terminal. This might not look exactly the same as yours, but yes, once you have your terminal spin up, the first thing we normally do is to confirm if the target you've been given is up. So now, in this particular case, I'm just going to have the IP address of the target machine that we've been given, and then try to ping it to see if it is actually on or not. If we get any replies, if we get replies from the target, we know it's actually on. If we don't get replies, it means the target is not accessible. So as you can see in this particular case, I've already put the or done the ping to the target, and I'm not getting any replies. So I'm just going to cancel that by pressing Ctrl C on the keyboard. And as you can see here, we have 19 packets transmitted to the target, and we haven't received any packets back, meaning we have 100% packet loss. So we aren't actually connected to the target. We can't actually hack into that target if we aren't connected to it. So then how do we do that? Now, when you come back to the platform right here, there's a section where you have the option to download a VPN connection file. So you can quickly just come to this section up here, connect to Pawnbox. Actually, in Hack the Box, the attack machine or the attack box is called Pawnbox, and then check either of these options that actually has the lowest ping. In my case, it's UK with 173 ms. So I'm going to click on that, and then just down here, I'll click on download VPN connection file. I'll wait for it, and once it's done right here, I will go back to my terminal, and then I hope this is not too advanced, but I'll use the terminal to traverse to where the file has been downloaded, in my particular case in the downloads folder, and then run OpenVPN from there. So let me just quickly do change directory and then go to downloads, and while we're there, I'll do the command ls to list the contents of anything I had downloaded earlier on, and you can see we have our file here that we downloaded called Academy Regular OVPN. So now that we have confirmed that the file is downloaded, we can run a command to connect to their servers via OpenVPN, and the command is sudo OpenVPN, the name of the file, which in our case is Academy Regular.ovpn, and then click enter on the keyboard. You'll be prompted for password. Input your password for the machine and then click enter, and when I say machine, I mean your virtual machine. And once that loads up, as you can see on my screen, you're supposed to see a similar line: initialization sequence completed. So once you see this, you know that you are connected to Hack the Box networks. I need to emphasize on this because it's a mistake that a lot of students make. You are not supposed to close this tab while you're working on your assignment or you're still hacking into a machine on Hack the Box platform. This tab is supposed to be left open so that you can actually keep your connection active between your virtual machine and the target machine on Hack the Box networks. So once this is done, you can open another tab. Maybe just press Ctrl-Shift-T on your keyboard. That will spin up another tab. If you're using a terminal like Terminator, you could right click here and then just split it, maybe say vertically. Have it running on the side as you work on other things. So now, as I said, for illustration purposes, we can now try again to ping the target to see if we actually are connected to Hack the Box networks. Just press enter, and as you can see, in this particular case, we start getting replies from that machine. When I press Ctrl-C on the keyboard to interrupt that, you can see the statistics. We sent 10 packets to the target, we received 8, we have a 20 packet loss, 20% packet loss. That is something we can actually work with. So it means we have a connection to the target and we can actually start hacking into that machine. So going back to the browser right here, you can see now the task, and you can start working on it. So maybe in this particular case, you're being asked to run an Nmap scan, an Nmap script scan on the target. So you can do that, and then whatever output you get, you use it to answer this particular question. Now, as I said, there is this other option that is called the start instance, the Pawnbox. This is what Hack the Box gives you to use instead of connecting via OpenVPN. This is your other option to work with if you don't want to work with OpenVPN, but we highly recommend that you work with OpenVPN because you have unlimited time when you need that connection with or to their servers. But you could also use this just to have it clear, maybe let's put it into full screen. And then ideally, as I said, this is just another computer on your browser, and you could come here and spin up the terminal. And because this is already on their networks, you don't need to do the setup with OpenVPN. All you can do is just come and start running your commands against the target. So in this particular case, our command to see if we are connected to the target is ping. So let me just take the IP once again, then paste it here. Oh, so just copy. I don't know if we have clipboard access. No, we don't. So I'll just check it. It's 201.69. Okay, so it's 10.129.201.69. I hope that's correct. Let me check again. 129.201.69. Yes, and it's the same thing here. You see. So if I run that, you see we automatically get replies from the target machine that we are trying to enumerate or hack into. Immediately we get a response, so we don't need an OpenVPN connection while working with this. But as I said, this is a machine that you can use for a limited time and once a day if you are not a premium user. If you're a free user, you only use it once a day for a limited time. So for illustration purposes, I'll just show you here. If I terminate the machine and then maybe reload this page, you will see I don't have any instance left to use for today. I will have to wait until tomorrow to use that again, and that is where OpenVPN comes in handy and why we actually highly recommend it. So that should do it when it comes to Academy. Puts you up to speed. Don't worry about your cubes. As I said, once you're done with the module, you earn back all the cubes that you used to unlock that module, so you'll get them back. I hope that is clear. Now, the other platform that we haven't explored is actually app.hackthebox.com. So you can quickly just visit that website, and then while we're here, I'm sorry about this. I think you remember we had already created an account, so I'm just going to quickly log out. And it is ideally the same thing that we had earlier on. So once you go to app.hackthebox.com, you'll be redirected to this domain, and then just use the same credentials you had. In my case, this was the email and the password, and then you sign in. Once you are signed in on the platform, you ideally get this interface, especially if you're new. Say for me, I'm particularly interested with red teaming stuff. I'll click on the red teaming stuff, and then I'm just going to close this down. There is a lot of things here, but for you as a student, mostly what you're going to work with is the starting point. You might actually have tasks that you want you to go through on the starting point, meaning some machines that you want you to hack into. In this particular case, for tier 0, you have Meow, Phone, Dancing, Redeemer, Explosion, and Redeemer, which are all free. And then you might later go into tier 1 and tier 2 in your free time and cover all the machines under that section. But the one thing I want to actually emphasize on is, while you're here as a free user, you don't get access to Pawnbox, and you will automatically need to connect using OpenVPN. So if you need to do that, just click on the connect to hack the box, and then pick on what you are actually doing. So in this particular case, we are doing machines on starting point. So you need to download a VPN configuration file for starting point. If maybe you are hacking into machines the seasonal machines that are being played, which is not highly likely that we will actually send you here to play these machines. This is something you can do on your own time. But if you're doing that, you select that option for machines. In our case, we are working with starting point. So you're going to click on connect to Hack the Box and then click on starting point. And then, as I said, because you're a free user, you're not going to get this access. You just click on Open VPN and then select either of these options. You will later learn as you're going through Cyber Shujaa what they actually mean, what TCP is, the protocol, and what UDP is. But then just ensure you have selected what is mostly optimal for you. I find it that the defaults are usually very optimal, so you download VPN, and once again you will get a VPN configuration file, almost similar to what we had earlier, but this is different. Now when you go back to your terminal, I'm just quickly going to end this connection here and then also just clear both tabs. So now, since you're already in the downloads folder, we can list the files that we have, and you see we have the starting point OpenVPN file here. So once again, we can run the command sudo OpenVPN and then starting point and click enter. If you prompted for a password, remember, always just use the password for your virtual machine. And this is what we are looking for always when you run the OpenVPN file. See if the initialization sequence is complete and you know you're connected to their networks. Once that's done, you can go back to the platform. Just to confirm if you're actually connected, you can refresh the page. And once that loads, you can see here what type of connection you have actually made. So in this particular case, starting point, and you see you are connected. So that gives you a leeway to start working on machines like this. So in this particular case, you have, maybe for illustration purposes, the machine mail. You could just scroll down to it and then click spawn machine. By doing that, you are given an IP address of that machine, and then you can actually start hacking into it, enumerating the machine for vulnerabilities, and then try and hack into it. And then as you go down, you'll be answering questions and then eventually get to what we call a flag, which is ideally what is your main goal, or what is your main objective for hacking into that specific machine. So maybe just for illustration purposes, let's wait and get the IP for this specific machine. Try and ping it again, just confirm that we are actually connected to it before we start enumerating and hacking into it. So let's just give it some time. And on this side, we don't actually have cubes. As I said, you're just given machines to hack into. All you need to do is ensure that you're connected to OpenVPN or to Hack the Box servers or networks before you can actually start hacking into their machines. So once that loads up, you will be given an IP address. In this particular case, this is our IP. You click on it to copy the IP and then go back to your terminal and then maybe just ping. I have a different IP this time, so I'm going to paste that there and then enter. Wait to see if it actually responds, and you see we start getting a response from the target. If you don't get a response from the target, then possibly you're not connected. In other cases, the target might be blocking search probes because ping uses ICMP packets, but this is not something we are going to dive into right now. You will learn how to bypass such meshes. So that should actually be it when it comes to Hack the Box platform on both the app and the academy. So we've essentially covered almost everything on here, apart from now just one part, maybe the part that we need to connect to Windows. So I'm going to try and switch up now. And ideally just go back to Hack the Box on Windows machine and then see how that works. So let me just try and capture the whole screen instead of just one window. Yeah, I hope that is well. And while we're here, we can try and, as we did earlier on, sign in to the platform. You can see I was already signed in. This is my personal account. This is not the account that we used earlier on, but we can pick on one of the modules, maybe this one. No, I don't unlock it. Let me pick one that I was actually working on, like this one, and then scroll down to where we have the VPN connection file. Maybe I'll just spawn the target as we are waiting. As you can see, this is not a free account, so we have infinite spawns on it. But if it is a free account, you'd see 1 out of 1, meaning you only have one chance to spin it up in a day. But again, since we are free users, we're going to use a VPN connection file. So let me just download that. And you see we have it downloaded. It's probably in the downloads folder. So now for OpenVPN on Windows, because I'm actually working with Windows right now, you need to download software called OpenVPN, which you can find here. When you just Google OpenVPN, the first one that you're going to find, click on it, and then once you're there, you can go to get started for free. This one is for cloud. Sorry about that. Just go to resources and then see the download section here, and then you can download this file called the OpenVPN Connect for Windows. So in this particular case, because you're working with Windows, you click on that, and then once that file has downloaded to completion, you can actually open it and use the default prompts to install the file. In my particular case, I have already installed it, and you can see it's here on the dashboard. If that wasn't clear, I could alternatively search for it here. So maybe do OpenVPN Connect and then open. And once this loads up, you can click on the plus icon and then go to upload file. And then this section is where we'll browse and have our VPN connection file. So in this particular case, it's under the downloads and then the Academy regular OVPN. Once it's there, just press on connect and then give it some time. Give it time to load, and you can see we actually have a connection to Hack the Box. And this is interesting because it's actually using a graphical user interface, as opposed to when you're working with your Kali or Linux environment, whatever one you've used. But this works with the GUI, and now we can actually try and ping the target since it's actually up. So we'll just copy the IP and then try and open the default terminal for Windows, which is the command prompt, and then do our ping from here. So ping, Control-Shift-V, and then you see we automatically start getting replies from our target. This would not be the case if we were not connected. So if I turn this off and then try to rerun that command again, we are not getting any replies from the target. You see our packets are being dropped and we're actually getting requests timed out. So yeah, that should do it for this tutorial. I hope it helps with everything that we've actually discussed. See you on the next one. Bye.